Hello, Resurrection Graves here. I want to just share with you five things that I learned from closing my previous business. I would love to share these things with you because I think that it will help you to determine how to make some right choices for yourself and for your own business. So I will not keep you long. Five things I learned from closing my business. So the first thing is about location. So for those of us who are, small business owners, we have to weigh how much we spend on items within our budget. For startups, commercial rent could really hurt the business before it ramps up. So it's a safety precaution. Small business owners will often take a retail space that's across the street from the attraction instead of actually being a part of the main attraction. And oftentimes this can hurt you. You can end up losing your business just because of that, because you're not getting the traction that you really need. And the walk-in traffic is something that you absolutely want to account for when appointments are not filling up your books, regardless of what type of business it is that you have. So for startups, commercial rent could really hurt your business as well. It's kind of a catch 22. If I go over here to the main attraction, then what will happen, if I run out of money to pay my rent? Same thing could happen. You could have to close your business. So, one of the ways that you can compromise is that you have to look at what your marketing dollars are doing and some other things that are within your budget. What are you counting as a part of your budget? And I won't get into analysis here, but location is extremely important. And the one thing you do not want to actually compromise is your location. If you can be in the, main attraction, then you absolutely want to do it, and you'll see that reflected in your monthly income for your business. The second thing is you need access to money. How in the world do you get access to money? Usually that only comes through a bank or investors. A lot of people say go to your friends and family. Most people do not have friends and family who have enough money to give you to start a business. That's just the reality. Some people do, and if you fall into that category, then yippee, then you should absolutely go to your friends and family first. But for most people, you may not have access to those kinds of relationships, even if you have family with money. Perhaps you don't have the relationships where you can go to them and say, hey, cuz I need $50,000, and I will talk about that more in my book as well, talking about those relationships. So I actually applied for a business loan with a 720 credit score and was denied when I had my previous business and when we were going into a commercial space. So I didn't find that particular process supportive, but at every networking event, there was for sure 2 or 3 bank, what I call salesmen, who were there that wanted to run my credit and see if I qualified for something, even if I already knew the game and knew how things worked. And I don't fault them, that it's their job to sell me a loan. But that doesn't make them an expert in loans. And I think that's something that I want to get across in this video, is to make sure that when you're thinking about the access that you need to money, that you're actually working with people who have been where you are wanting to go, or who have expertise and are not salesmen who benefit from the loan transaction. Okay, so when it comes to investors, that's a lot different from loans, and I won't cover that in this topic today. But if you have questions, and I look forward to your questions, you're welcome to reach out to me and ask me the questions, and I will do another video and answer the question for you. How to negotiate partnerships. So that's number 3. The first 2 were location, 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 and you need access to money. And the third one is how to negotiate partnerships. All right. So I attended a lot of networking events, and a lot of people are at different levels in business. If you watch my mastermind video where I talk about creating these mastermind groups, I really took the time and searched really deep within to make sure that I created mastermind groups that would help you achieve your goals at the level that you're at, because it doesn't make sense for you to network and for you to mastermind with people who are not actually your peers, and that can go in a good and a bad way. So perhaps you're masterminding with people who are above where you are right now, and that does not help you to move forward. And by contrast, you could also be working with people that have no idea what you're doing and are not in the same place that you are. So I took a lot of time to create mastermind groups where people are really genuinely able to serve each other in a peer connected way. So when you're looking at partnerships, and you go to these regular networking functions, a lot of times people really just want to barter. Many people's view of partnerships are bartering agreements, and I tell this story and I'll tell it really fast. I was, running a massage company, and this woman came in, and I won't even tell the whole story, but long story short, I gave her this extraordinary massage, so she said, and I had given her this discount, and so, she only paid $65 for the massage, and that was, and my regular price was $100. And she said, that the massage was so amazing, it was worth $100. So she actually gave me $100, the regular price of the massage, instead of the $65 that the sales price, which was amazing, right? It was fantastic. But then a week or two later, she was looking for me to give her that money back for her to become somehow my personal stylist or something like that, something that I was absolutely disinterested in. And so it was very frustrating to look at the idea that she had blessed me in that way and then wanted to take it back. It's not a barter, agreement. I actually did the massage. I provided the service. So the $100 you gave me was my regular price, and thanks for the $35 tip. You know what I mean? And so people don't make money that way. If you're actually in business to make money, you have to negotiate partnerships that work, and bartering just doesn't seem to really cut it the way that some small business owners are currently conducting business. So one of the things that I teach in my Blueprint for Bosses is how to negotiate these relationships so that you're not offending people and you're not hurting your own pockets as well. So I knew how to negotiate these partnerships, but I found that it was challenging to find candidates to negotiate real business opportunities during that time. And the thing that I've created with the mastermind groups is helping people to know how to, and giving people the platform who already know how to negotiate these different opportunities that may come up and become available for them. So that's what I'm really excited about, is now that I am actually fostering these relationships, these opportunities for people to connect to each other in a very real way. And that's why I definitely recommend one of my coaching programs or the mastermind group. Number 4 would be you need access to relationships. And I've kind of already covered that I wanted to create this access to relationships, which is why we have the coaching groups and the mastermind groups. But most people are under the impression that they need to be around people with money, right? But the truth is, you need to be around people who believe in you, who have money. Because if you're around people who have money, but they don't actually believe in you, then you're around people who have money, and it does not matter. It means absolutely nothing. Believe me, I have been around people who are multimillionaires, and I've even been around several billionaires, and have heard some phenomenal things. I've picked up certain conversations that they had either with me or amongst me with peers, and have had great experiences just sort of being in the presence of what that looks like. What does a person who's a multimillionaire or billionaire act like, think like, and so on and so forth. And that was years ago. So, I'm not saying don't be around them. I'm saying that you need access to strategic relationships where the partnerships involve, belief, where they put their money where the mouth is. That's all I'm saying. And whether they're a small investor or whether they support you in some way, whether they make a phone call, whatever it is. But if you keep networking around people who really don't believe in you, and or who only believe in you if it doesn't cost them anything, then you are honestly wasting your time as an entrepreneur. So I warn red flag against that. That's number 4. Number 5 is there is no substitution for timing. So exactly what it says. There's no substitution for timing, for the right time to open your business, to launch a new product or service. The right time is when you have answers for all the important questions, which you should find written in your business plan. And so, there's a lot of different business coaches out here who teach a lot of different things. I'm going to teach my way. I'm going to teach based on the things that I've done extremely well, and I'm going to teach based on the things that I've not done so well. And having a business plan, I knew when I opened my massage company that I was taking a huge risk. I understood that, and I had belief enough in myself to take the risk to open the massage company. And a lot of people, let me clarify, a lot of people think that means that I went and I opened one room and that I was a massage therapist. No, I had a 2,000 square foot massage studio with an executive office, a multi-purpose room, a couples room, and 4 single massage rooms. I had an art gallery that I partnered with that came in and put their art all throughout the facility and made it look like an art gallery. It was absolutely gorgeous. I put my heart and soul into creating that, and I knew that if I could do that, I could overcome anything and pick myself back up and do greater things. So no substitution for timing is really about looking at your business plan and figuring out where all the holes are. If you find that you have all these different holes and you just don't have the answers, you don't have the relationships, you don't have the location, you don't have the partnerships, you don't have access to the money. If all of these holes exist in your business plan, then you need to be honest with yourself and look at how you can close those holes. One way to do it is by getting a coach. Executive coaching is so important because it helps CEOs to look at what the gaps are and to sort of solve the problems before they become problems. Sometimes you go get people after the fact, but there's a certain thing called alternative medicine. And so, you want to be whole and sort of look at prevention before something happens, and then you have to sort of put a Band-Aid on it. So these are my 5 things, is that, it's really important that you think about location, that you think about the fact that you need access to money, that you need to know how to negotiate partnerships, and that does not include just bartering, and also that there's no substitution for timing. What does that really mean to you, that there's no substitution for timing? So here's the thing. Your business plan should be a resource. If you close all the holes, if you figure out where the extra money's coming from, if you figure out how to do this and how to do that, and where you're going to hire people, not necessarily at minimum wage, but where you can get interns, where you can get different types of gifts in the office that can help you. You have to account for all of those things, and if you have that already put together in your business plan, then your business plan will work and function the way it's supposed to, which is as a business resource for you. You can always go back to it, look at the goals and everything, and see that, the answer is right there. So let's see. I want to say specifically to you, and I'm going to use my cheat sheet, is that I personally did not account for my need to have access to the right relationships. And that's true. Though I knew that it was a void. This was a big void for me. I was a part of a networking group that really wasn't producing anything. I knew a whole lot of people. I was a part of a church that had thousands of members in it. But again, going back to the relationships, it's important that you not only have access to people who believe in you, but they have to also have money as well. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't still cultivate relationships with people who can't put money where their mouth is, right? But I'm just being real transparent here that you're not going to be able to run a business if you don't find other people that can take your vision and run with it. And sometimes running with it means that they come out of pocket and they believe in you enough to to put some money toward what your goals are. And it's a whole nother video to talk about what that looks like. But I want to sort of leave this with you, that if you don't have answers to these questions, I've given you some examples of, what I've learned. But if you don't have answers to these questions, then, I want you to think about the mastermind groups. I want you to think about what I've mentioned with the mastermind groups. And if you'll give me a moment, I'm going to name them for you. The first one is called Brain Trust for Future Billionaires. There's actually a YouTube video where I'm talking about mastermind groups, so I won't cover all of that here. But Brain Trust for Future Billionaires, $1 Million Mission, and Finish Factor are the names of my 3 mastermind groups. I also have 1 networking group. You have to be a member of one of my mastermind groups in order to participate in my networking group. That is the way it works. It is internal. We meet at secret locations. It is not some kind of secret society group, but I'm very, very strategic in my connections, in my partnerships, and I've kind of finally gotten to a place in my life where I'm able to implement all these, sort of dreams and goals that have been brewing. There are people who fit the Finish Factor mastermind group, who fit the $1 Million Mission, who fit Brain Trust for Future Billionaires. But if you want to know exactly what those groups are, you're going to have to go to YouTube and sort of Google me, if you will, and learn about what those groups are until the website comes out. And of course, it'll be available there at resurrectiongraves.com. My Business Soulmate is the networking group. It's the only networking group that I have available. And what's exciting about that is that we're going to have, a large event or 2 per year where we are going to bring together all of the people that we have been masterminding with and bring them into one place. So regardless of what level you're on in your personal business, regardless of where you are, now we're going to be networking. And it's a networking environment that I've come up with some really extraordinary ways for people to network and for it to be real heart connections. And that's why it's called My Business Soulmate, because the idea is that you're looking for the people that you're supposed to be connected with in business and in life. So, it's not, here's my business card, let me tell you all about me, but it is, really looking for those heart connections and figuring out who you're supposed to be connected to, as I said, in business and life. So that is really what I have for you. I just wanted to go over sort of these 5 things that I learned from closing my own business, where I saw sort of some holes that explain really why I was not very successful with that. And if you want to learn more about the mastermind groups, I've mentioned that. And then if you want to learn more about Blueprint for Bosses, that is my 12-month coaching program. You can also go on YouTube and click on a video that will sort of explain Blueprint for Bosses for you as well. And that is my heart and soul. I love Blueprint for Bosses just like I love the mastermind groups. Why? Because it gives us time to spend together where we can delve really deep, and I can make sure that just like these 5 things I learned from closing my business, you never have to learn them. And you don't have to learn the 5 more things that I didn't mention here. So thank you. Much success to you. I look forward to supporting you in your growth and expansion, and God bless you, and be extraordinary.